Okay.
It's so good to be here amongst friends. And I want to start actually by referring back to something that Marcus said a little while ago about anger, that there's a good anger, there's a constructive anger. I think there's actually such a thing as a sacred anger that comes from a very deep place inside when we see the earth being destroyed, when we see air being polluted, when we see climate being destroyed, and we see our waters being destroyed. As you all know, and part of the reason you're here, thousands of miles of streams have been destroyed by mountaintop removal. It's insanely destructive. And we're all here to get PNC Bank to stop funding BlackRock, to stop funding Massey and any other mountaintop removal corporation. And I can't tell you how much it matters that you're here and that you're determined and that you're persistent and that altogether we are going to win this campaign, which I completely believe. This morning, as you all know, there have been fires burning out of control in New Mexico for several days now, and I believe I heard this morning that those fires are 300 square miles. And when I heard that those fires are the Gila wilderness of New Mexico, I cried, because that is one of the most beautiful wilderness areas in this country, and I have been there, and it's a sacred place. And in the Gila wilderness of New Mexico, I had hummingbirds just buzz by my ear. It's full of hummingbirds, and this morning I could hear the sound of birds' nests burning up, and any beings that are not fast enough to escape that fire dying. So what I want to say is that all of the work that we do is connected to this big picture of climate change, which I know you know, that these extreme weather events, these fires, these floods that are more and more extreme, more and more frequent, are because of climate change that's coming from coal extraction. It's coming from fracking as well. And fracking's been going on for a long time. The new form of fracking is many, many, many times more destructive than the old type of fracking, but fracking has been contributing to climate change for quite a while. They frack for oil and they frack for gas. I saw a map a couple nights ago of North Africa that was taken by satellite showing where they are flaring, and they've been flaring for decades. Natural gas that comes up when they drill for oil. They're just burning it off. And that's what they're doing right now in Pennsylvania. They are flaring the natural gas, they're just burning it off. When they flare it 24/7 for weeks at a time. So what it's doing to climate in the long range is also making people sick at heart, and physically sick in the short range. And there's a huge cover-up, which is the denial about the health impacts of fracking. So I know that hundreds of animals have died. There's peer-reviewed studies showing the animals have died. The animals, horses, cows, goats, pigs, dogs, have died in literally 16 different ways, 16 different pathways for these chemicals to get into the bodies of living creatures. Whether it's a frack pit that should be abolished, that's overflowed, whether it's, they dump it on the roads legally. They dump the toxic flowback from fracking on roads in Pennsylvania legally for dust suppression. And all it takes is a dog walking across the road and getting its paw in that stuff, licking its paw, the dog gets cancer and dies, but also the person who's living there has, guess what? Radioactive soil, permanently. And so I know an organic farmer that's in that situation. Her dog died, and she has radioactive soil. She lives in western Pennsylvania. They dump it on the roads. So there are so many different migratory pathways for these chemicals to get into our air, water, and earth. And air, water, and earth is what we're all about. If you think about it, that spells out awe, right? Yeah. That is, it's the most awesome thing that we're here on this amazing planet that has clean air, clean water, and a clean earth. That's what we started with. So all of our efforts have to take us back there. Let's keep that vision, because we have to win this one. Let's come all together against all forms of extreme fossil fuel extraction, and we're going to win.
Amen.